Today, we're going to be discussing something which could be quite scary. Seals. Well, more specifically, leopard seals. Yeah, not the cuddly, fun, adorable, semi-aquatic animals which everyone loves. We're going to be discussing just what makes leopard seals so deadly, so dangerous, so scary, and we're also going to look at some examples of why these things are true. So, sit back, grab a notebook, and get ready to learn something interesting. Now, considering what the majority of people think about seals, it's safe to say that they're a favorite among the life of the sea. Plenty of people claim that seals are adorable and lovable. But when you consider a leopard seal, these attributes fly out the window very quickly. Leopard seals are very different to regular seals, and it would be a drastic mistake for anyone to mistake the two species. Why are leopard seals considered as the deadliest beast of the Antarctic? Leopard seals have sharp canine teeth along with incisors, and these are used to tear apart their prey. Yeah, it's not very pleasant, and I'm sure that you could imagine how unpleasant it must be to get on the wrong side of a leopard seal. To make matters worse, leopard seals are very agile swimmers, meaning that anything in the water isn't going to have an easy time escaping from the jaws of this beast. But, luckily, anything on the land may have a better shot at escape, given that leopard seals aren't the best when it comes to being out of the water. Given what these animals can do to their prey, it would be best to keep a fair amount of distance away from them. So, you're maybe wondering, do leopard seals attack humans? The answer is pretty clear. Leopard seals will not hesitate to attack humans, whether because it's a defensive reaction, because they're scared or startled, or because they simply mistake a diver for a large fish. There was a case in 2003 where a scientist was killed by a leopard seal in Antarctica, so this isn't something which people are scared of happening. Yet doesn't usually occur. This can happen, so be careful. So, what makes leopard seals so aggressive? Yes, they have horribly sharp teeth, and yes, there's going to be a natural instinct to hunt other animals to be able to eat. But is that the only reason why they're likely to zoom after any animal which they can get their hands on? Well, it turns out that they're very competitive when it comes to their food. It's rare to see two leopard seals working together to hunt. Not that they'd really need to, given the power behind them, but that's not the point. The species will even fight amongst itself for food. Think of it as a fight between two siblings over who ate a certain food out of the fridge. But instead of bickering, they're hacking at each other with razor-sharp teeth. Now you may be thinking that a creature which is this dangerous can't possibly be hunted by another species. You always hear about lions being the kings and queens of the animal kingdom, that nothing can outmatch a lion, and you may be thinking that leopard seals are essentially the lions of the ocean, that nothing can beat them, that they're at the top of the aquatic food chain. As it turns out, no. Leopard seals do get hunted, but only by one species, as far as we know, and that's the killer whale, or, if you prefer, orcas. And it's likely that this is only the case because the killer whale, like the leopard seal, is very dangerous. Just they're bigger than the average leopard seal. So considering this, it's quite scary that there's only one species which we're aware of which hunt leopard seals. So leopard seals are aggressive, but have there been many cases of leopard seals putting humans in danger? Like I mentioned earlier, a human has been killed in the past by a leopard seal in Antarctica, and that was a scientist, specifically a marine biologist. This was Kiersey Brown, who was snorkeling in Antarctica when the attack occurred. She was dragged under the water by a leopard seal, and though she was retrieved by other scientists, she did die while trying to be resuscitated. But this is thought to be the only case in history where a human has been killed by a leopard seal. Probably because they're only found around Antarctica and occasionally around Australia and New Zealand, though that's quite rare. However, there are concerns that more humans could be put in danger by leopard seals in the future, and there are worries that the number of leopard seal related deaths are going to increase. Why? Simply because scientists continue to work in Antarctica. So, to put it simply, unless you're planning to go to Antarctica anytime soon, you don't need to worry about being attacked by a leopard seal. But what if you were? You must be thinking that, surely, there must be a way to survive an attack from a leopard seal. If you really think about it, humans could survive mostly everything which could happen on Earth given the right circumstances. Should your city flood, you can escape in a jet or helicopter should you happen to own one. Should you be stranded at sea, if you happen to be a strong and agile person, especially when it comes to swimming, it isn't that far-fetched to say that there's a chance of you being close enough to an island that you can get out of the water and possibly signal for help. Should you find yourself trapped in a cave, there's always the chance of simply stumbling across the exit. There always seems to be a way to survive from danger, and it's no different when it comes to an encounter with a leopard seal. So, what's the protocol? First off, you want to stay away from the edge of the water. Assuming that you're not swimming at the time, this is something which can be weary of. After all, if you're not planning to get into the water, then you don't want to be right at the edge of the water, especially when you consider that Antarctica is ice, so there's always the risk of it breaking and sending you plummeting into ice-cold water. Now, should you actually be in the water, and should you realize that there's a leopard seal right beside you, it's best for you not to panic, but to keep an eye on it, to observe what it's doing. If it looks at you, you're probably in danger as it knows that you're there, but you should mainly look for signs of it threatening you. These signs include it hissing at you, opening its mouth, or jerking its head. Should this happen, get out of there as soon as you can. Well, assuming you have the time to. So there we have it. Leopard seals are very dangerous. They pose a horrible threat to anything which gets in their way, and now you know what you need to do to it. If for whatever reason you find yourself coming face to face with one of these fearsome beasts, you don't need to worry about one of these darting out of the water and dragging you down if you don't go to Antarctica. Or if you aren't really unlucky while at the beach in Australia or New Zealand though, so try not to worry the next time you go for a swim in the sea. If you liked the video, be sure to let us know by leaving a like, and make sure to subscribe and to ring that notification bell to get notified of any more of this sort of content when it's released. Leave a comment with any suggestions for future topics too.